We are live.
What's
Um,
up? What's
so
up, everybody?
what's up? I got Tane out of Virginia, myself, Andrew Vos. For the people that don't know me, been in real estate for 4 years. Prior to that, special operations community in the Army. I've had a credible career between our team and I. We've sold 200 million in volume, 3.5 plus million in or million in GCI, which commissions. And so that means we've served over 600 people, helped them buy or sell homes. But we got a badass out of Virginia, Payne, that I like to say we're partnered together
Oh yeah,
uh, at our new brokerage, and we
yeah,
came
man.
from the previous brokerage. So, Tane, what's going on?
Not much, Andrew. Nice. Thanks for having me on. I don't know how I could beat that intro.
Uh,
uh,
dude, when they hear what you're doing, you blow me out of the water. So,
but yeah, so I mean, I'm over here in Hampton Roads, Virginia. Most people know Virginia Beach, right? So that's really, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Chesapeake, Suffolk, Hampton, Newport News. I was a solo agent last year, but I started the team this past year, bringing on an assistant and as well. I have one agent, one buyer's agent. We're just getting started really. But before then, I've been around for just as long as you, I would say, Andrew. I started in August 2019. So yeah, yep. So I moved down here to Virginia in April 2019. I bought a house down here, and then I just went full time into real estate. I didn't
okay,
really
so
know anyone down
that's
here.
a stopping point. That we do have a similar journey there. So, I want to talk about this
Yeah,
part.
you're in Florida, right?
Well, no. So Colorado. So Florida's
Oh,
a
okay.
new market for me too, but I lived here for 6 years prior. So
Oh, okay.
I know the areas, I know people. But when I started in real estate in Colorado, I'd only been there for a year, year and a half.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I want to talk about that. So
Yeah.
if you don't mind pausing
Yeah,
for
yeah, hell yeah, dude. That's pretty
uh,
cool. So we have something like that, yeah. And I was
yeah, we
military too, like
do.
you. Uh,
Um, man, this is exciting. So, a brand new agent starting in a new market, just moved there. What kind of why did you get into real estate for one? And
yeah.
then what did you do to go all in? Because I think a lot of people, I hate to say it, but all in, they think they're all in. They're not all in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like the safest thing to do, quite honestly, but like what we did.
Yeah.
But so like what got me into real estate was I lived in New York before this, and it was a point in my time in my life where we're starting to look at houses to become first time homeowners essentially in New York. Me and my wife, and just what we were getting up there for 300,000 just wasn't something that was super appealing, quite honestly. And I've always wanted to get into real estate investing. So we started exploring other states, and Virginia just so happens to be one of them where I was somewhat familiar through Marine Corps, and as well I had one of my brothers down here. So we visited a couple times, and we just ended up making the move down here. And at that time, I was in the IT industry, but I also did like digital marketing for a little while. So I did it for real estate agents, and just agents just excuses, not making phone calls, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and
Let's
then
let's call it how it is. They're straight up excuses. It's fear. It's created fear. Like
yeah,
it's not real danger, right? I do a great video on this, but it's like
I
people,
actually saw it. I saw what you're talking about. Yeah, I
yeah,
know what you're talking
people
about.
scared
Yeah,
to pick up a phone. Like, oh my god, this phone's gonna zap me if I say the wrong thing, or this person's gonna
yeah,
reach through and like the boogeyman and pull me through. I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, yeah, man. It was a combination of everything. Just seeing like, all right, like I know for a fact I can do it because my brother also is an agent in New York. He's doing really well too. He started about like a year before me, I would say, and he was the one that kind of like, hey, you should think about doing it as well. And I like the idea of the unlimited income based off of how hard I work, right? So that's another thing appealing for me. And I wasn't too happy in my last job either. So I was like, all right, what's the worst that can happen, man? So I bought the house down here in Virginia, moved down here April 2019, got my license active here in Virginia August 2019, and joined the last brokerage that we were with.
Yeah.
And yeah, pretty much from there, from there, my first year did about 33 deals, about 240 214 or 217 GCI. Volume was around 9 or 10. I can't recall exact. And then the following year was the highest production year with 78, and that was about 20.9. Solo agent again, just me. And then the third year,
What's the
because
DCI on that? Around 400?
what
400?
happened? Oh
What
no,
did
actually no. The 78 was about 570. Yeah. So yeah. So that year, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely felt like the burnout coming in, right?
Yep.
Just like 'cause that's like you're just running full speed.
Yep.
And the following year, I did 53. But as I was telling you, it was interesting because I switched my method up a little bit. The following year, I got a little more targeted on like, all right, I want to focus on 200,000 and up because the area where I'm at, you do have homes nearby that are in the 50,000s and then 150,000. So I was just taking everything as they come.
Yeah.
And then the following year, just because I was feeling the burnout a little bit, I was like, let me get a little more focused. And it's interesting how real estate works because you can give yourself the raises off of the focus. And then that year when I did 50, past year when I did 53, I was only short in volume wise by like close to 2 million, under 2 million.
You know
So
what's great?
53 and then right under 2 million.
You just said something really interesting. You can give yourself a raise, but what you also gave yourself a raise on, and correct me if I'm wrong, by doing less deals, is you gave yourself on a raise on time back,
Yes.
more
And then the
time with
headaches.
your family.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, and then as I grow now, my focus is trying to build out this team, and for the other agents to do well, right? And then for me as well, since I didn't just be able to take a breather, right? So
Yeah.
that's I'm not as far as you are on the journey, but it's definitely been a fun one.
Yeah. So, well, I wouldn't say that. I think I'm just a year, maybe ahead on the team wise, year or two, right? If you and I were still solo agents, we would it sounds like we'd be on the same trajectory, right? Because the second year I did 67
That's awesome.
deals. So we're around the same, which is cool. We have a similar story, new market. I learn something new every day. So what's building the team look for you? Like what's your
Different
value
challenges.
challenges? Yeah.
Freaking different. I give props to those people that have made a successful team because, quite honestly, solo agent, it's like easy. But like I've always had like this. I've always wanted to hit 100, like past the 100 threshold.
Yeah.
But it's just something. I don't know why. It's just not too many people have done it, right? Solo agent passing the 100, but and then I started building on teams, different challenges. Trying to become a better leader. And then really this is where you start honing in your skills on like, do you know your shit,
Yeah.
right? Down to the point where you can train it to somebody else, right?
Yeah.
So
I
it's
like it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's been fun. Like it's been fun. I like because obviously the setup we have at LPT, you can grow nationwide almost. So like I've been able to help out other agents in like other states like Florida succeed in their business as well, right? And then in New York and then New Jersey. So like it's been nice seeing other agents do well from like the stuff that I'm teaching, coaching essentially, right? So
It's going to be fun when New York and New Jersey are officially open.
yeah, I'm super excited for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. How about you? How about you? How you liking the team leader role so far?
Oh, well, this is supposed to be about you, Tane, but it comes with its challenges. You're always trying to figure out how, because there's a fine line between, do you just chase the profits of the team, or do you give them better splits and just try to provide more value, right? Versus like time versus monetary. So we've struggled with that for a lot of years. Like we've done a lot of production, but I think our ROI could be better. So we actually are working on some more value propositions, packages to offer the agents. Hey, for now, this is just me talking. This is not finalized. If any of our team members are watching, so $300 to $400 per transaction off the top, and that covers your marketing after closing. It covers closing gifts for your clients. It covers, and so we're thinking about you just doing that per closing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's
So
like LPT's model somewhat.
It is. So we're trying to emulate, because I've really bought into the vision at LPT, right? And us being so new that I feel like us as agents, we can mold and shift and work with the executives to kind of make it how we want it within the lines, right? They're going to make not to screw up their vision or anything. So we're trying to just align ourselves. Like we're just doubling down on Zillow with the CEO of the company. We're doing stuff to just value proposition for our team. So I do. While we talk about LPT, what? Why did you move? Right? Because let's be real, we were at a great company.
Yeah.
Like there's no like I hear people leave like Keller Williams, they leave Coldwell, they leave Century 21, they leave other brokerages and they leave pissed off. Well, for one, it's because they're babies. Two, like they don't just like they're not leaving for better opportunity like I feel like we did, right?
Yeah.
They leave because they got their feelings hurt or they're trying to save money. And I think leaving a brokerage to save money, I don't think that's a good reason to leave a brokerage because if they have a ton of value, because you get what you pay for, right?
Yeah.
Here, you have an option, but everybody gets it. So I like it. And it's
Yeah.
kind of so why did you make the move?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, man, it was definitely a great company. And especially like at the production level we're at, it doesn't like it was. There's no better like reason for us to stay, right?
Yeah.
And the way I looked at it was just really as I started coaching agents and then just seeing um, I mean, this LPT model is just better for everybody else, like everyone. That's the way I'm looking at it. It's like, yes, EXP model is phenomenal for me, but what about my agents that I'm bringing on that I want to? Because let's be real, like everybody having to conform to 80/20, 16K cap, and then you're a brand new agent that should be focusing on sales, and you get nothing out of the revenue share. This, to me, I don't find that valuable, right? Outside of there's other stuff they were providing, but the way I'm looking at it is just
Mic drop.
literally if I had this option, if LPT was around 2019 when I first started, I would have joined that instead of old brokerage anyways, because it's just at that point in time, what sold me was the stocks at that point. Like that's my nest egg. Like that's what I'm going to retire off later on. Like if LPT was around 2019, yeah, you have the business builder option where you can literally start at 100% commission, get everything else, the benefits that come with it. I would have went with that because there is literally I didn't do any recruiting for the first 2 years anyways, 2 3 years because I'm just focused on sales, right?
Yep. Yep.
So to me, it's just a better opportunity in regards for newer agents for everybody else, and then as well timing wise is huge. Like even when I was with EXP, there was other opportunities popped up similar to EXP. I didn't leave because it was just too similar.
Yeah.
This, and this is just truly something different. Like
So
yeah,
I'm a straightforward person. So if the other opportunity you're talking about is real,
yeah,
I was approached with real too, and there was no reason to leave.
it made no sense.
It's too similar and to only have 8,500 agents in 32 plus states in 2 countries. That's not impressive, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't have left like I wouldn't have left EXP. Let's just call
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Uh, it LPT didn't pop up, right?
yeah,
Like, and I agree with you. If LPT was here years ago, man, you and I would be sitting at the top 50 in the company, probably for sales and revenue shares. So,
yeah,
uh, I love it. I love it.
yeah, man.
So, I actually have a question. If you make 600K a month, you'll be paying $600 for a gallon of gasoline when they take taxes away, makes everything income based. Will you go poor? Will you survive? $1,000 a month. That what? That's not a real question. We're not going to answer that. That's off my YouTube. I don't know what that is. I think you maybe reword the question. $600 a month. That's 600K a month is a lot. Anyway, so what's it been like over here? Like what have you seen that attracted you the most? Like I know we got the business builder option, we got listing power tools, we got the ground floor stock. Like what was it? All of it? Did I just
Honestly, it's like a never ending list, quite honestly. And like when I first discovered the opportunity too through Courtney and Terry, right? Like it it was just like I was like, what's the catch? That's literally like that was my first question. I'm like, so what's the catch? Like it
Yeah.
sounds like it's literally you have the best of both worlds. I'm like, what is the catch? And the catch is really just it's a growing company, right? So you're taking on the risk. But the way I looked at it, I'm sure you're probably the same exact way. Every time before I make a decision, I'm just like I'm weighing out the pros and cons. Like what's my worst case scenario?
Yep.
And yeah, just with the switch, just yeah, everything from the options where everybody doesn't have to conform to one compensation plan. Even the marketing aspect of it, I actually did it because my coach told me like, hey, like don't think about emotional aspect, just break it down numbers, broke it down to numbers and marketing dollar spend because I was paying for CRM outside of KB Core anyways. So that alone right there topped it, and it was like, okay, I get this all included for free. But then on top of it, I don't know how to do the math behind this, but the listing power toolbox that you get for every listing, and especially when I'm more listing heavy, where essentially I can use that box now, free marketing, to go help sell my clients' houses quicker for more, and as well, you get more business out of it too, right?
Boom.
Yeah. So that's like it's tangible. It's tangible. It's hard to beat. Like so,
Yep.
it came down to numbers thing, and as well timing. And you were just like, I mean, if I was catching Keller Williams 40 something years ago, maybe it's a different story. If I caught like EXP 14, 15 years ago, right? Different story. Same thing with real. But like with this, we caught it at ground level. I got in December 13th.
Yep.
So and they opened in Virginia literally like almost that like a day or two before, right? So
Yep.
yeah, I mean same thing for you. You caught it at ground level too, right?
Yeah. So I actually seen this in August, and when I saw it, I was just impressed. I was really, really, really intriguing because what I felt like I was missing was because I was trying to learn real estate 4 years ago. I don't feel, and I was selling real estate at a high level. I don't care. I'm not bragging. I'm not trying to, but to sell 22 homes your first year, 67 the next year, 178 the third year, with 3 people in production with me the third year, you're moving at a high pace. I feel like a lot of people that had the time to really go recruit, they were already done selling real estate.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So when I saw this, I said, okay, I have everything for the most part dialed in with our team. I can pass deals off. I can take a 30 to 50% cut off that. I can still have money coming in based off what I built off my relationships and my SOI. And now I can focus on recruiting because at the last company, I feel like there's too many.
It's hard to beat the full-time recruiters.
It's hard to beat the full-time recruiters, and it's hard to beat. I still don't understand the bringing in the influencers people, because how does that help the little agent? Like the little agent, I'm a little agent, right? Like how does a billionaire that's not in my downline or upline or sideline or whatever,
I
it
thought
doesn't,
about that point
how am
too.
I, it doesn't, for me, that made absolutely no sense. So now that I kind of have a handle on sales, now I can spend more time on agent attraction. So when I saw it, I'm like, yes, the stock, right? Because you hit black badge here, which is 35 units currently. You get almost 7,000 shares of stock if you're in on a 2.0 rev share multiplier, which I think you and I are for our states because they're new states, right?
Yeah.
Plus you get marketing dollars to grow your business further up to 15,000. So I'm like, I get 7,000 shares of stock, right? Stock certificates. Let's make sure you're using that. And I get marketing dollars to grow my business. I'm like, well, shoot, this is like a no-brainer. Plus, I can go out and recruit, and I give people more options. The $5,000 cap or the $15,000 cap.
Yeah.
What do you want? So, yeah, it was for me. That's what attracted me was the opportunity.
Yeah.
I wanted the same shot everybody else had 7 and 9 years ago at our last brokerage. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and what's interesting too is like the recruit assist aspect of it. Like, so that was one thing for me too, a big selling point. Because in the beginning, I was just really more like, I'm just gonna keep closing sales and then recruiting them. Realizing like, all right, this is actually once in a lifetime opportunity, right?
yep.
Like I actually because real estate sales will always be here. So it's just like, all right. So but like it's good for agents that aren't even focusing on recruiting. Let's just say you just out like you were like me, the first 2 years that just focusing on sales. The amount of deals I did, I probably would have gotten, organically 10 to 15 people on my downline from the recruit assist if
Yep.
that opportunity was there as well.
Yep.
So that was another neat thing too. Of course, like there's some things I also like about this model, how it's real estate sales first, and they truly mean it. Like to limit recruiters from all diving in on this, you got to first pay towards that cap, that
Yep.
$15,000 cap, and as well 120 days wait period until you can actually unlock the revenue share.
Yep.
So that was quite interesting because the old model didn't have, you had the full-time recruiters that was literally, you know, reaping all the benefits from everybody else that's paying towards the cap. Like it just didn't
Yep.
make any sense to me.
Yeah, that's what I love too. So this is what I tell people. If you just come here and you want to recruit, you're probably not going to love this model at first. But if you're going to come here and sell real estate on a high level and recruit, you're going to love this model. So, it may or may not be for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so do you have any so since we're kind of, we're essentially still in a buyer's market, but I do still believe we're in a buyer's market now, and I do believe that we're moving to still a multiple offer situation or back to a multiple offer situation. Like a condo I wrote an offer on yesterday, it had like 5 offers on it.
I was about to say, Andrew, I mean, at least over here, my average days on market is still under a month. And then yesterday, we lost out on, well, today actually, we lost out on the offer against 36 others. So, so we were just chatting about that at lunch. It was an investment property though. So, but for the longest time, investors put things on hold for like the last 3 months that I knew of. And now it's just like it's picking back up. But what was going to be your question?
Yeah. So do you have any nuggets for people that are just getting started, that are maybe shopping broker? So just getting started in real estate, what would you focus on now? And then how would you decide, because people have so many options on brokerages, what should they look for? So those 2-part question.
So the first part, my word of advice for agents is like, one, don't try to reinvent something that's like, because there's so many options now out there for, when you become an agent, you have, ways you can make, close deals using YouTube, Facebook, Google, right? Or cold calling, like how I did, door knocking, like how others did, whichever. They all work, but you also have to be real with yourself. Do you have, like, if you're going to commit to YouTube, can you actually wait it out a certain amount of period to actually get the ROI out of it? Will you be around still by that time you start seeing it? And on top of understanding, like, not everybody, Virginia doesn't get searched as much as Texas, or Florida, right? So like, depending on where you're at, you can easily look this up on Google Trends, homes for sale in Florida, or YouTube won't work in certain markets. Like that's just the reality of it, depending on, because it's work off of search engine, right? So like you have to be real with yourself. Do you have money to invest into? Because everything honestly does work up to a certain level. Like if you're gonna go Facebook, Google, can you front thousands of dollars for the next 6 months, not expecting anything back, right? And for me, I had a coach that really same exact thing I'm telling the audience right now. I went the cold calling route because I had all the time in the world. It doesn't cost that much. I just do a little door knocking and cold calling. All it takes is a lot of sweat equity. But it only costed me $300 a month for the subscriptions for cold calling, right? And then able to get my business rolling that way because I saw I had limited funds. So for the agents that are starting off, you need to stick to something because what they don't teach you in real estate school either is pipeline maturity. So not the person you talk to today is not ready to do business until possibly 6+ months out. So that's, and all that is done through volume. Like you'll get somebody that's ready to do business today. If you talk to 8,000 people this month, like it doesn't, if you call 8,000 people, you'll probably talk to about 500-600 for the month. You'll probably stumble across somebody that is ready to do business right now. Right. So it's just a matter of how much effort you put in. For 2, picking brokerages, it's tricky. I do think like there's what intrigued me about the models like EXP Real and as well LPT Realty, like obviously I benefit from the agents that I sponsor succeeding, right? So when I joined, I was thinking the same exact thing of, hey, how like this, I like the cloud brokerage model where the commission split was a little better, and really the stock options is what got me. So that's
Yeah.
what I went with. But the brick and mortar is a good option as well for certain people, because there's going to be certain people that prefers to have somebody that can go into a listing appointment with them, that can go into a buyer consultation with them, right? That can actually go to do showings with them, to teach them, exactly show them a way. And it's possible as well with the cloud brokerage if you get a local sponsor at the same time, right?
Yeah.
But even so, it's the brokerage option is tricky. I think it depends on what value you're looking for, right? Like
Yeah.
for me, how I determined it, I'm pretty disciplined from being in the military, in the Marine Corps, right? I have a pretty decent self-discipline, so I was like, all right, I can put in the work, and I'm pretty disciplined. Let me just go this route. I just need someone to tell me what to do, and I'll do it. So
Yeah.
that's how I did it. But then other people might need someone to tell them what to do and also show them how to do it. So that's a little different. You might want to get someone local if you're looking, if that's your type of personality.
Yeah, me, I just was like, I don't need a team. As long as my mentor or anybody answers the phone, I'm all about it. Like I
Yeah.
could just go out and create, I can create momentum, right? I
Yeah.
just like, because I was like, what do I need to do? Talk to a bunch of people. All right, I have money, I'll buy leads, I'll fill up my pipeline, I'll join networking groups, I'll play kickball. I was like, I'll do everything I possibly can just to get in front of more people. So well, thank you for your service. I don't think I ever knew that you were in the Marine Corps.
Me too.
I appreciate that. Everybody that's watching, listen, definitely. Next time you see a cop, public service worker, military, make sure you like honor them and do the right thing because they're everybody. So cops, nurses, military.
Teachers.
What's that? Teachers.
Teachers. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all like less than like 2 to 1% less of people that are servicing your kids, people around the world, our neighborhoods. So make sure you love on them.
Yeah.
But Tane, thank you for your time today, dude.
Same to you, man. That's nice
Yeah.
getting on here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited to work with you, partner with you. If there's anything we could do for you in Colorado or Florida, let us know, and
You
you'll
going
be
to
our
Grand Prix?
yeah. Oh yeah, Grand Prix in March.
Yeah, I'll meet you in person when I'm down there as well.
Yeah. Hopefully we're both on the same stage speaking. If I'm not on your stage, I'm definitely going to be cheering for you because you got a lot of talent, dude. It's impressive.
Thanks, man. Same to you, bro. Same to you, man. Look forward to working together.
I
Thanks
appreciate
for having me
that.
on, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Let me just end
But
the